Hey guys, what's up? This is RJ here, Game News USA, coming at you with another game review. Today, we're gonna go over the review scores for Lunar Remastered Collection. It comes out April 18th. We're not looking at the Nintendo Switch version, which got a 75. We're gonna be looking at the PlayStation 4 version of the game, which got an 82. Now, there's not many reviews on here, so we're just going to go ahead and read all the reviews for this game, which has 9 reviews currently, 8 positive, 1 mixed. The only problem is, for some reason, the mixed is not showing up on Metacritic's website, so we just have the positive reviews, but that's fine, we'll go over them anyway. So, if you're new to the channel, please remember to like, share, and subscribe if you hadn't already. We cover lots of things on this channel. We go over game reviews, movie reviews. Sometimes it's me personally what I review, or me going over what reviewers say about a game or a movie. I also do top 10 list. I cover the gaming news, of course. That makes sense. I am Game News USA. And, occasionally we'll dabble our toe into drama content, and I'll also talk about sports. Plus, I do live streams all the time, and I upload plenty of content pretty much daily. So if you like that kind of stuff, please consider sticking around. So, let's start with RPG Fan with a 90, which tied for the high score on Metacritic for this game, saying, maybe the most important thing a developer can do when remastering a game is choosing not to fix what isn't broken. For the most part, that's exactly what Gung Ho did here. They kept the remaster simple, but not because this is a cheap port. So, they're basically saying, yo, we're fans of the original and you didn't fuck it up. How about CG Magazine? Also a 90. Saying, the Lunar Remastered Collection is a window back to the mid-90s that modernizes the preservation without replacing the soul. So again, another reputable reviewer praising this game for not ruining what made the game good in the first place. How often do you watch a new movie or you play a new game that's a remaster or a remake and they fuck up the core elements of the game? Clearly, they kept the core elements intact. I'm surprised more reviewers didn't pick up this game, especially because it looks like it's going to be a pretty slow week for game releases this week. But, I know Happy Console Gamer talked about this game and did a review on it. Which I found interesting. Video Chums with an 87, saying Lunar Remastered Collection is a fantabulous, yes, they actually use the word fantabulous, package of 2 of the best lighthearted retro RPGs ever made, with impeccable localization that's filled with hilarity, bubbly characters, and unforgettable moments. I highly recommend this compilation. So yeah, high praise there from the first 3 reviewers so far. Don't know if it moves the needle too much for me. I just got a lot going on. Critical Hits with an 80, saying Lunar Remastered Collection is a basic update of 2 RPGs in the best 1990s style, featuring beautiful animated cutscenes and charismatic casts. However, the difficulty of the battles may cause newer fans of the genre to take longer to appreciate the quality of the remaster. Yeah, man, I tell you, games were just harder back in the day. They just were. Like, a lot of times when you guys see me live stream a game that's more modern, if I quit early on, I don't quit because it's difficult. I quit because I'm bored. But in this case, this game will present a challenge to you, so be prepared. Hey Poor Player with an 80, saying, despite only offering minor updates, I still wouldn't hesitate to recommend Lunar Remastered Collection to any fan of RPGs who hasn't played these great games. I still absolutely love both of these games even after all these years. So again, another high recommendation there. Forbes, not really a website I like to use too much for gaming reviews, gave it an 80, saying, what Lunar lacks in gameplay complexity, it more than makes up for in wonderful animations, captivating characters, and riveting music. You'll absolutely feel the surge of excitement as you set out on these adventures, letting the whimsical charm sweep you away. So often non-video game reviewers who review a game will always talk about things that don't really dig deep into gameplay, but they more or less do help sell it to the casual audience, you know, by trying to invoke feelings, which is what Forbes did here. So we'll see if that helps them bump up in sales some. Worth Playing with an 80, saying Lunar Remastered Collection is exactly what it needs to be. A comfortably nostalgic revisit to a comfortably nostalgic pair of games. Neither breaks the mold, but they remain charming and fun enough that they don't overstay their welcome. Fair enough. And finally, the last review from RPG Site is an 80 that says, these games are great, breezy, and iconic representations of anime-style fantasy JRPGs from the 90s. To that end, this is a great compilation, and I am grateful to finally have Eternal Blue released from its prison. However, the lack of options included in the iOS version of the game were concerning. I don't give two shits about an iOS version of this game. And we're looking at the PlayStation 4 reviews for a reason. Let me check out the Switch reviews, actually, since we are here. And there wasn't that many reviews for PlayStation. Why was there an issue with the Switch reviews? Let's see. Why is it lower? Come on. You motherfuckers. Hold on, I have to fucking search this in specifically. Alright. Alright, Nintendo Switch only got 6 reviews. And it got a 75 with 3 positive and 3 mixed. So let's go ahead and read the Switch reviews for this game. Noisy Pixel being the high score here with an 85, saying, in this era of endless releases where developers and publishers constantly seek ways to reinvent the wheel and push the capabilities of imagination, the Lunar Remastered Collection is a welcome and soothing throwback. Alright, sounds like pretty good 85 review. What about Shack News with an 80? Lunar is a tremendous series, a crucial high point of RPG history that doesn't get nearly enough love today. Oh, come on. I disagree. RPGs from the 90s get a shitload of love. What are we talking about? They get remastered and re-released all the time. Nintendo World Report with a 75, saying, as a longtime fan of the Lunar series, I am more than overjoyed to finally have one of my favorite childhood JRPGs in a playable format on modern consoles in 2025. I still find the series relevant and as charming as it was back then. So yeah, a lot of people are just happy to bring it over. Game preservation is a big deal. And of course, I'm super into game preservation. So that is good. Now we have 3 mixed reviews. Starting with Game Pressure with a 70, saying the Lunar Remastered Collection is a victim of its own faithfulness. While its upgraded visuals, the retro pixel art character sprites and environments, and the hand-drawn cutscenes are stunning, They only barely distract from the otherwise outdated RPG elements. Yep, and that will be the big debate between this game. Should they have updated the elements or not? Because we've seen some reviewers praise the game for not updating its elements and saying that we're glad you didn't fix a problem it doesn't have. And we've seen other reviewers say, no, you absolutely should have fixed the elements because it's either too hard for the modern gamer or it needs updated more for convenience. Either way, it seems to be somewhat of a split, but it mostly seems to lean to they did the right move not updating the elements. Nintendo Life with a 70, saying the Lunar Remastered Collection represents the enhanced PS1 versions while also making a few tweaks to modernize parts of each game. So there are tweaks. While not all changes are entirely successful, and there are other aspects that haven't aged particularly well. Okay, I mean, that's kind of what we've been saying. How much tweaking do you need to put into this game? It's a fine line. It really is. I don't pretend to know the answers, but like I said, I think more people seem happy than not happy with what they decided to do. Now, we have one more review. Oddly enough, it is a 69. I cannot make this up. Don't know why that would even be an option for a score. But a 69 from Spazio Games, saying, it's still a delight to play both Lunar games, as they are innocent and delightfully simple in their plots, but also full of unforgettable characters and emotions. But this package does the bare minimum. Let me repeat, this package does the bare minimum to make them palatable. Also for newcomers and not only for nostalgic players. So again, that's the big split in the game. It just is. Not great for newcomers. Awesome for former fans of the series. I hope whoever published this game, they didn't have high sales expectations. I hope they kept a reasonable budget. And I hope whoever does pick it up is pleasantly surprised and happy with how it turned out. But only time will tell. So let me know in the comments below. Did you pick up Lunar Remastered Collection? Or did you pass on it? And until next time, guys, I will see you later. Peace. I'm out. Have a good one.